I wasn't going to steal your purse, I swear.
I don't trust you.
Rightly so. What is happening, Elite FPA Belfast community? Jesus, it's good to be back. I was away for a while. Oh God. No, I was a busy boy. I was a busy boy over the last load of weeks. Obviously, we had a shit ton of stuff going on, with the reopening of the gym again. We were trying to get the grips with what way we were doing it, which has all went pretty smoothly. Plus, I had a full-time crew in, which was absolutely epic, by the way. Some seriously quality trainers come out of that. Always an awesome bunch. And listen, I know I'm a wee bit biased here, but, the course just keeps on getting better and better and better. That is absolute fact, like 100%. But anyway, listen, it's good to be back. And today I'm going to cover ways to build credibility in the industry. And I'm excited for this. I'm excited for this here because at the end of the day, what is credibility? It's trust. It's building trust in the industry. And at the end of the day, people buy from people who they know, like, and trust. All right. So trust being the main factor there. All right. If someone is going to invest their time, energy, and money into your services, then they obviously have to trust that you will get them the outcome that they are looking for. And today I'm going to discuss 8 ways in which you can build credibility and build trust, and essentially get you more business. All right. Now, me personally, have I always done things to try to build credibility in the industry? I don't believe so. I don't waking up every morning and think, right, how do I build more trust? How do I build more credibility? It's kind of just an ongoing process. It's just something you just dig in, and you go through, all of these things each and every single day, and over time it kind of just builds up. I don't think there's one particular thing that you do and all of a sudden people start to take notice of you and you start to gain credibility from one thing. It's very much a process, an ongoing process of things that you do daily. All right. And I think that's really important to realize. All right. There's never going to be there's never going to be one single thing that you do that builds you credibility in the industry. And I suppose why I'm kind of talking about this is, every now and then we see someone who comes out of the shadows, someone who breaks out into the industry and all of a sudden gets this big massive following, and everyone's talking about them and whatever else, and their social media blows up. And the next thing you know is, fuck me, they're unheard of. They've disappeared. Where have they gone? And the fact of the matter is that they've probably been an overnight sensation. They've done one thing that's gotten them some recognition. So I would actually say recognition is different from credibility, like completely different. They've gotten a wee bit of recognition, and all of a sudden, everyone's talking about them, but then they disappear. Right? It happens all of the time, all the fucking time. Okay. So, it's important to remember that this is going to be a process. So let's get started. Let's get kicked into it. And hands down, like for me, the number one thing that you can do as a coach, as a trainer, to get credibility in the industry is get people results. And I think that this is where, what I was talking about previously, when people get a bit of recognition for something, and quite often it's something fucking stupid that they've done. I remember actually a few years ago, there was some dude, I think he was in Scotland or somewhere like that. I can't actually remember, but his videos were doing the rounds on social media because of the way that he was training people. I mean, it was just completely stupid shit, right? I can't even remember what it was that he was doing, but then his videos started doing the rounds, and because of the stupidity of his sessions, he started to get a little bit of traction, right? More and more people were following him. But the problem with that is that he was just getting recognition. He wasn't actually getting credibility because people were looking at him going, dude, what the fuck? You're an idiot, right? And on top of that, there's a high probability that he wasn't getting people results. In fact, he was probably doing the opposite. He was probably hurting people. So, you know, his credibility didn't stick. His recognition didn't stick. So you want it to be for the right reasons. And those right reasons are getting people results. All right. That is what people are here for. They want to move better. They want to feel better. They want to, you know, they want to have sex with the lights on, right? You know, that's part of it, right? And they want to move freely and not in pain. Okay, there's a bunch of reasons. I'm not going to go into them today. I'll maybe cover it on next week's live at 11 about, you know, the emotional reasons why someone would want to invest in your services. All right, but you know, the main thing that I would say you can do is to get someone results. Like I think back to, you know, way back in the day when myself and PJ were just starting out. We were so fucking focused and so driven simply by getting people results is what carried us through in the very early days when we, you know, we didn't have as much, I would say, business savvy as what we do now. You know, we didn't have all the systems that we have. Like we were basically just, you know, it was a shot in the dark. We just wanted to help people and we just wanted to get them results, and we were seriously passionate about that. And that's the thing that carried us. And you know, we mightn't have got credibility within the industry, but we were getting credibility from our clients, and that's who really matters. All right, that's who really matters at the end of the day. Now, you know, you may be watching this here right now, and you may be thinking, I haven't got no clients, or you know, if that's the case, then me personally, what I would do, and this is the very first thing that I would do, and I've said this in the past. Like I would grab my best friend, or you know, whoever it is, your parents, cousins, like whoever it is, someone that actually needs help, and I would say to them, listen, you know, all I want to do is get your result. You know, be it for free, be it whatever way you want to do it, just get the result. That is the main thing. Okay, that is essentially what we do. You get them the result. And, you know, that snowballs then, you know, they tell someone else about it. Someone else sees the photos. More people then want to invest in your services, and then more people get results. And, you know, I always give the analogy about the flywheel. That basically kicks off a flywheel. All right. So, you know, that can go against your marketing, your social proof. Like you can get testimonials from that. Like there's so much that comes from simply getting someone a result. All right. So for me, you know, that would be the number one thing in terms of building credibility. Okay. The second thing that I have in terms of building credibility is coaching. All right. It's coaching. Now, there's two ways that I kind of wanted to talk about coaching to build credibility. Number one is having, you know, providing people with credible resources of information. All right. Like, know your shit in the first place. Like it's not fucking rocket science. If you want to build credibility, then you have to give value in the form of credibility as well. All right. If you're spouting fucking complete and utter bullshit to people, that's not where it's going to come from. Okay. So you must be delivering sessions and delivering education and information to your people that is based on real scientific research, real credible research, and not something that you just found on fucking YouTube or Facebook or anything like that. Okay, it has to be credible, and that comes at the end of the day with educating yourself and putting yourself in the right environment in order to get that information. Okay, really simple. Now, the other way that you can think about this is from a marketing perspective is if you show yourself coaching. All right, you show yourself on social media coaching your ass off, right? And you know, I always use this term to you know, the coaches at Hybrid and the coaches at Elite. I always say to them, what would it look like if you were coaching your ass off, right? What would that look like? If I was to you know, if I was to hire a cameraman today, right, and he was to just video me, you know, like candid shots, nothing, you know, nothing, no posiness, no fuck all going on there. If someone was just to video me coaching someone on the gym floor, would it look like I was coaching my ass off, or would it look like I was just standing there twiddling my thumbs or daydreaming or not being present with that person? All right. So, you know, showing that on camera, showing you doing that type of coaching, you know, being engaged with the client, reinforcing what you want the client to do, you know, supporting the client, doing all of the things that we should be doing in a session. Okay. That is a great way of, you know, both marketing what it is that you do, but also building credibility, because people look at that and they go, do you know what? That is the type of session that I would pay for. All right. Okay. So number one, building, getting results. Number two is coaching, quality coaching, but also showing people the quality coaching as well. And, you know, it doesn't have to be on camera. It can simply be on the gym floor. All right. When you are, you know, when you are attentive, when you're engaged, when you are focused on the client, at the end of the day, that's going to build credibility within, you know, within your team of people. And then if you do want to show that to the outside as well, that's a really good idea. Okay. Okay. So the next one is quite ironic, I suppose, but Facebook live videos is a great way to build credibility. Okay. Now, you know, it's all well and good doing 50 takes on a video. All well and good. Like, that fucking shit is easy. I could do that there for a million years. But actually building credibility through a Facebook Live, which I believe it, I actually prefer Facebook Live videos because I actually just feel like I'm actually having a conversation with someone. Sometimes whenever I'm doing, you know, like pre-recorded videos or anything like that shit takes forever and I really can't be fucked with it. Am I recording this here? There we go, recording now. That shit takes forever, and I can't be fucked with that. So I would much prefer to do Facebook live videos. It makes me feel like I'm actually having a conversation with someone, even though I'm looking at myself on screen half the time. But that's cool. So yeah, doing Facebook live videos with the real shit that's going on is going to build credibility. Now, I know that individuals watching this are going to be like, fuck, I can't do a live video. I can't do that. I can't do that shit. And, you know, I'm going to talk a wee bit later on about, you know, having confidence on camera and stuff like that. But, you know, most people have this perception, right? How they perceive the world, right? And I actually heard this great quote today. I fucking love this quote. It's, don't look for angels, look for angles. All right. And what I basically take from that quote is stop looking for problems and start finding solutions. Okay. Now, the way you have to look at it is this: you have to label things in the real world, right? Here's the story that a lot of people have in their head. What is going to happen if I do a live video, right? They think to themselves, all millions of people all around the world are going to tune into my live video. They're all going to stay on and they're going to watch me forever. I'm going to say something stupid. I'm going to offend someone. It'll go viral. Next thing, a fucking mob of people is going to show up to my house and they're going to burn me out of my house. My family will disown me because I said something stupid. I'll be left homeless on the street and I'll starve to death. You know, that's the fucking story that people conjure up in their head as if they're actually that fucking important. Like, as if what you have to say on a live video is as important as so many people in the world are going to bother their fucking arse to go and do all that shit. You know, let's face it, you know, the worst thing that can actually happen on a live video is you get a negative comment. That's it. And the fact of the matter is that no one really cares. You're not that important. Okay, you're just fucking not. and people will probably forget what you said in a couple of days. Like, you know, I said to our students earlier on, the fucking Rock has 200 million followers on Instagram. He goes on and does like Instagram lives, and people forget what he said about a day later. Okay, now The Rock has 200 million followers. What the fuck makes you think that what you have to say is going to be more important than what The Rock says? Jesus fuck. You know, listen, you're not that important. It is not about you, it's about the end user. Because here's the reality of what does happen. You know, you're pretty shit at it at the start. Let's face it. Okay, everyone is fucking shit on video at the start. No one gets straight on the video and absolutely nails it. But what it takes is repetition. Okay, you gotta consistently do it. You gotta consistently show up, consistently be on video, and then you start to get a little bit better at it. And then more people start to stay tuned into what you say. And then what happens is you start to impact people on the other side of the camera. You start to, you start to reach people on an emotional level. Something you say triggers the individual, and they say, "Fuck, they are right. I need to do something about my circumstance." And then they become grateful and thankful that you're the person that, you know, triggered their emotional response to whatever it is, whatever problem that's going on in their life, right? That's the reality of it, you know, and you have to label it that way. But the story, your perception of how things are going to go when you do a live video, or what's actually holding you back from doing live videos, or from even pre-recorded videos. You know, the fact of the matter is that you can go and do a fucking pre-recorded video and not even show it to no one, but you're still getting the reps in, which is the most important. You know, you're still getting that time under tension. We all talk about the fitness industry, time under tension, but our fucking marketing and our business need time under tension as well. Or guess what? You're just not going to get good at it. It's as simple as that. Okay. I can actually remember the first video that I ever done. I'm glad that I can't find it. I keep on going back to try and find it, and I'm glad that it's not there anymore, because I mean, it was horse shit. They're still mediocre. I get it. They're still mediocre. I don't give a fuck either. I'm better than I was then, and that's what's more important. And guess what? Having put in the reps over the last, I've been doing videos now, I would say 5 years. So having put in that repetition for so long, you know, now I just don't give a fuck. I'll just go on and do live videos, pre-recorded videos, room full of people, public areas. I do not care, okay? Because at the end of the day, you know, people in public areas, people walk about and talk to their fucking screen on a FaceTime all the time, and no one gives a flying fuck. So what makes you think that you're so important that everyone's going to stop and look at you if you're talking to your camera? It just doesn't work that way. All right. And again, you know, going back to the reality of the situation, you're probably just going to help the person who's watching on the other side. And that is what's more important. It's not about you. You're not that important. Everyone will forget what you said in a couple of days later, except the person that actually needed to hear what you say on video. Fuck. Okay, so number 4, how to build credibility. You show your culture. All right. And I said this quote before. If fucking hell, I can't even remember it now. If consistency is king, which it is, all right. Jesus Christ, I can't even remember what I said now. Anyway, I've got it. Okay, if content is king, right, which it is. If consistency is king, and if culture is king, what does that make posting consistent content about your culture? Okay. Now, you know, you might not own a gym, which is fair enough. If you do, then I highly recommend you show people the type of culture that you've got within your facility. All right. If you work from a gym, you know, that doesn't mean to say that you cannot build a certain culture within your little tribe within a facility. Or if you work for a facility, you know, if you're a paid coach, you can still show people the type of culture that happens within the facility. Okay. And that is massive when it comes to building credibility. You know, we done a couple of weeks ago, we had a videographer in who caught some of the action from our kettlebell certification, which was like, next fucking level shit, like absolutely unreal. And what he done was he captured the culture, and the video looked fucking absolutely awesome. Loads of people messaged me about it. In fact, as soon as I published the video, I don't know how many DMs I got from people who said, right, when's the next kettlebell course? And I think it's pretty much sold out now. So yeah, I think I got a couple of spaces left. You need to be quick on that if you want to on that anyway. There's my little pitch for the day. But back to the point, that was simply showing people the type of culture that we have at Elite. And straight away, people are like, fuck, how do I be a part of that? I want to learn in that environment, which is massive. So, in terms of building credibility, because, think of it this way, had I not showed that day and I would say the spirit of that day and what was going on, people may not necessarily have been, it wouldn't have been brought to their attention. I'll see you in a second, mate. I'll see you in a few minutes. I'm just on a live call here. Window cleaner just coming in. He's looking funny at me. Yeah, so it wouldn't have been brought to people's attention, and then we wouldn't have got the custom that we did from that. Okay, fucking window cleaner walking in. Jesus, that's the power of live videos. That's the shit that really happens. Okay, so show your culture. The next thing that I'm going to talk about is confidence on camera, and again, this builds credibility. I always say to our students, if you look at anyone who's doing anything that you're impressed by in the fitness industry, if you're looking at someone who you think, what, that person knows their shit, I want to learn from that individual. They're all speaking on camera, and they're all really confident on camera as well. Okay, so success leaves clues. All right, success leaves clues. So that person probably had to put in a shit ton of reps in order to get confident at speaking on camera. And they've exercised their not give a fuck muscle a lot. So because of that fact, they've built up that confidence, and now you're looking at them and going, what, that person knows their shit. I want to learn from them. But at the end of the day, you have to put yourself out there. You got to start, you got to start the ball rolling. You can't expect to get good at something if you don't actually start the thing that you're trying to get good at. Okay, that is really simple. But I always ask the question to our students. We had a group of 22 students in the other day. Yes, go ahead, mate. We had a group of 22 students in the other day, and they they obviously had to get up and they had to introduce themselves to the rest of the class. And the simple question, some of them were nervous about it and whatever else, which is, understandable. But I always ask people the question, listen, do you want to get better at public speaking? Be it on camera or be it in person. Do you want to get better at public speaking? And everyone, there's no one that ever says, no, I don't want to get better. Everyone wants to get better at public speaking. Now, if you take into account the fact that most people speak on average of 12 minutes a day. That's it. That's the average amount of time that people spend talking. Okay? Now, if you take that into account, how the fuck in your right mind do you expect to get better at public speaking if you on average only speak for 12 minutes a day? All right, that is impossible. You're never going to get better at that. Same can be said for speaking on camera. If you speak on camera for 0 minutes a day, 0 seconds a day, you're not going to get better at it. Okay, so you simply have to fucking start, and then through repetition you will get better. Okay, so showing confidence on camera is another great way to build credibility. Next one. Okay, now this is kind of aimed at gym owners, but this will go right across the board. All right, so what I would do is I would show the gym. So as you can see right now, the gym is in the background. Some people who probably haven't tuned into my live at 11 before are now seeing the gym in the background. And even that wee small thing in itself builds credibility, because you're like, fuck, that dude owns a gym. Okay. So, even if you don't own a gym, what you want to actually do is show the gym that you work in. All right. Obviously, I do some consultancy and stuff for trainers, for gym owners, and I'll go and look at their social media, and they'll obviously they're struggling and whatever else, and no one knows that they own a gym because they've never actually showed anyone around it. They've never actually showed anyone training in it. Like, they've done nothing like that. So how the fuck do you expect to build credibility as a gym owner or as a coach if no one knows where you actually work from? Okay, so show people, show your audience the gym. All right, and then I'm going to leave it here today. Finally, show the coaches. All right, now again, this is aimed at gym owners again. Show your coaches delivering an awesome session. Show your coaches being part of your culture. Show them training. Get involved with what they're doing as well. Get them on camera. Speak beside them. Ask them questions on camera. All right. And if you don't own a gym, then simply get on camera beside whoever else works with you in the gym. Show you training alongside them. Do videos alongside other coaches. Get on camera with them. Do a Zoom call with other coaches and then post that as well. Like, there's so much, there's so much stuff there that you can do with fellow fitness professionals, which will allow you to build credibility. Interview other fitness professionals. Get on Zoom, record it, interview it, post it on your wall. Figure out what it is that person specializes in. Build a relationship with them. Be it if it's nutrition, get them on camera, ask them some questions around nutrition, post that content to the people who follow you, get them to follow you as well. Tap into their following. So for example, if you, I don't even know who, but if you get someone on who has a pretty decent following, you get the power of association. You get to learn from that individual. You get to tap into their audience if they share whatever it is. Now, again, you can't just reach out to anyone. You have to add a wee bit of value to what they do as well. Make sure you're coming at this individual with a giving hand, which is really fucking important. But there's loads of stuff that you can do to tap into in order to build credibility as well. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there today. Actually, hold on, let me check here, see if I have any questions. Hopefully not. Hold on, yes, I have one. What are the most common? Reese Hendry. Reese, watch out for this dude. He is on my part-time course right now. Reese is going to absolutely kill it in the fitness industry. He is so curious, asks questions all the time. And by the way, I always say to people, stay curious. He's open in class. There's never any self-consciousness, and self-consciousness is the biggest killer of all businesses. Okay, so stay curious, stay fucking stupid. Reese asked me a question today there. He said, what are the most common mistakes I see people make when starting out? Do you have any pointers for structuring your business financially? Yes, I do, for both. The most common mistakes I see people when they're starting out is that they create content to impress other trainers. Okay, I would say that's the most common mistake that people make starting out. Another one that I see trainers make is they will undersell themselves from day one. And that, looking back, if I was to do things all over again, I would invest in a shit ton of time, energy, and money into courses that are more credible. Okay, and I'm not saying that just because I fucking deliver one. I'm saying that I would I've done obviously FMS 1 and 2, Strong First certification, FRC, FRA, fucking PN. There's so many credible courses out there that I would have invested in from day one, probably even before I was qualified as a PT. I would have been straight on to them. I would have been straight on to learning from someone who is actively in the industry, hint, hint, and who has been about the industry for a long while, and who's going to guide you and mentor you, and who you can turn to when you do get stuck. right? I would invest in those people from day one. So I would say the first mistake that I see trainers make is that they, either don't put themselves out there at all, right? Or second, they put content out there to impress other trainers. Okay, so I would just start off trying to not impress, but trying to educate, inspire, and entertain the people that really need your help, because at the end of the day, they're the people that's going to invest in your services. And then I wouldn't undersell myself. In terms of setting up the business financially, you got to be smart in those terms. What I would do is you have, and this is the best piece of advice that I could give anyone starting off, is that you have to focus on recurring revenue. All right. And I would say, a lot of trainers now, even still today, even though I give this information out constantly, a lot of trainers still today go with an old business model, an old dated business model that just doesn't work, and that gives them so much head trouble, and they struggle for possibly years, when you could simply build a recurring revenue model which guarantees you monthly income, and you can track the metrics, you can track the data. All of that is well looked after, whereas most people just fucking are throwing shade at the wall, and hopefully it sticks. So yeah, that would be the two best pieces of advice that I could give anyone to start off. Don't create content for other trainers, and build a recurring revenue. Adios, peeps. Have a good day. Peace out.